All right, Mr. D, we're going to talk about blueberries, and I know you know a lot about blueberries because you grow blueberries.
Got a little experience with blueberries.
Experience.
That's right.
Okay. So let's start with the varieties here in the South.
Okay, here in the South, we recommend Rabiteye Type and the Southern Highbush.
Okay.
And they do require cross-pollination, so you do need to plant 2 different varieties. But here in the southern United States, the Rabiteye types that were recommended are Brightwell, Premier, Centurion, Alapaha, Austin, Tiff Blue, Climax, Powder Blue, and Baldwin. Southern Highbush, which is a hybrid cross of the Northern Highbush and Rabiteye types, they include O'Neill, Gulf Coast, Cooper, Georgia Gem, Cape Fear, Revell, Bladen, Blue Ridge, Jubilee, Magnolia, Pearl River, and Biloxi. And those clearly were produced by Mississippi State University, I'm sure. But the Southern Highbush varieties require 200 to 300 chill hours, and that's down toward the Gulf Coast north, you know, up to probably the Tennessee, Kentucky line, something like that. That's pushing it northern part of Tennessee.
Okay.
Northern part of the country, and this information I got from Purdue University, and that's from the state of Missouri, Kentucky north. The Northern Highbush varieties require over 800 chill hours. And the chill hour is the number of hours accumulated over the winter between 32 degrees and 45 degrees. Right. That's how you come up with your chill hours. And your extension service can help you with that.
They can help you with that.
Northern Highbush varieties are Blue Crop, Blue Ray, Chandler, Elliott, Duke, Jersey, and Toro. Now the Northern Highbush blueberries generally are self-fertile. They will produce without cross-pollination. However, research has proven that if you cross-pollinate them, the blueberries will be bigger. And who doesn't like a big blueberry? No.
I do, that's for sure.
I like the bigger ones are better. Out west, California is such a long state.
Yes,
in Southern California, you use the same varieties we use here in the South, the Rabiteye and the Southern Highbush. Northern California, got to go with the Northern Highbush, and also Pacific Northwest and up in that neck of the woods. Another couple of types of blueberries that are out there, and I received this information from Oregon State University. Okay. These are blueberry that'll grow across the entire northern United States and in southern provinces of Canada. They're called Lowbush blueberries. They are native to that area that I mentioned. They are a low-growing shrub. They spread by underground stems. There are a few cultivars that are named. Blomidon, Burgundy, and Brunswick are named cultivars of the Lowbush blueberries. Now, another type of blueberry is a cross between those Lowbush blueberries that I just mentioned and the Northern Highbush varieties, and they're called half-high blueberries. Wow. They also require cross-pollination because their parents do. Okay. Several of those varieties are out there: Polaris, Northland, North Country, North Sky, Chippewa, North Blue, Brazelberry, Sunshine Blue, and Perpetua.
Sunshine Blue, I like it.
So those are the varieties that will work, and that's a lot more varieties and a lot more types than were common back in the day that I was doing extension work.
No doubt about it. And since you mentioned extension work, this is free information.
That's right.
Extension service.
Well, it's not free. Your tax dollars.
Well,
your tax dollars. Yeah, there's nothing free. Your taxes cover that.
So it's all covered.
So take advantage of it.
Take advantage of research-based
information. Right. And there's a lot of research going on in experiment stations around the country on blueberries, obviously, for all these new varieties that in the last 15 years, it's amazing how many different varieties have been produced since then, different types.
Yeah, it is good. So let's move into planting.
Planting them, they're no matter the varieties that I mentioned, Northern Highbush, Rabiteye types, Lowbush, all of these they need an acidic soil. which is kind of unusual. Most plants need a soil that's only slightly acidic.
Right.
Blueberries need one, and azaleas, and camellias,
yeah,
they need one that's very acidic, or the more acidic the better.
Yeah.
To a point, 4.8 to 5.2.
That's acidic.
And I would lean toward the 4.8.
Right.
Get a soil test.
Yes.
Start with a soil test, and that will, and you tell them in the soil test that you're going to grow blueberries, and they will tell you how much elemental sulfur to mix or to spread in the area to lower the pH to the level it needs to be lowered to. And if you haven't planted them yet, I would, if you till that in, that will make that will lower the pH a lot quicker. Till it in. If you have planted them already, or if you don't want to till, you can just put it on top of the ground, and it is water soluble, and Mother Nature will take it on down. Water it in, or let the rain take it in.
Okay.
But get that pH down. When you plant the blueberries, select a site that's got at least 6 hours of sunlight. You need a well-drained soil. They don't like wet feet. Your planting hole, dig a planting hole that's twice as wide as the root ball if you're planting it. Now, my blueberries and most blueberries are 2-year-old seedlings, and there's not a great big root ball, but dig a wide hole, and you're going to want to add a couple of shovelfuls of peat moss or a good compost to increase the organic matter of that planting soil, and that is very, very important. That's as important as getting the pH right.
Okay.
Kind of mix that in with your soil and make sure you get it around the roots and everything, and that will help increase the survivability of those plants.
Yeah.
Of course, plant it at the depth that it grew in the nursery, and prune back the top of the plant by about 1/3. That will help balance the root zone with the above ground portion of the plant, because no matter how careful you are during the transplanting process, you're going to damage some of the roots, and you'll get a flush of growth after that, trying to compensate for that pruning that you do. Probably going to need to irrigate or water the first 2 or 3 years. Well, once they get established, that's not. You don't have to do that. I don't irrigate mine. Okay. They probably would be better if I did, but and irrigation is not going to hurt.
Right.
If you don't over-irrigate. Don't over-irrigate. Plant them further apart than you think you need to plant them. The directions say 6 to 8 feet. I'd say if you're Rabiteye types, 8 to 10 feet, and then the Lowbush varieties and even the Highbush, it's kind of strange. Highbush are not as big as Rabiteye types.
Yeah,
Highbush ought to be called Lowbush, in my opinion, but there are Lowbush ones out there. So you can plant the Highbush varieties a little closer than we do the Rabiteye types. The Rabiteye types spread them out a little bit.
Right.
Again, very, very important to get that pH low. I've seen in commercial plantings where if you didn't do that, you had to redo it, do it over again. So pH, organic matter in the planting hole, and you're good.
Give it a good start.
That's it.
All right. And don't forget to check your local extension service. They will definitely have this information for you. Mr. D, that was good. Thank you much.
You're welcome.